They're just laying down in the bush, but their camouflage uniforms don't match with the area they're in, so they're kind of obvious. Now, the point with this very first one is, imagine taking these two labs. So you take this one right here, and you take it and you move it off screen a little bit. Well, this image that you're looking at, this is the field of view for this drone, this particular asset. So if you move things away, you make it harder for the same two vehicles to be seen in the same shot. So like right here, this is a very photogenic thing. You can get two vehicles right there next to each other. But if you move them apart from each other, you disperse them, it makes it harder to count, and your sensor can only look at one at a time. So that's something that's very, very important. Also, what's important is really the term dispersion, what it was used for and created as a concept really since artillery was issued, is what if a mortar round lands right there? What if an artillery round lands right there? That would take out both vehicles quite easily, and that's no good. So dispersing for a warfare type thing may mean dispersing to prevent everybody from getting killed all at once by some kind of artillery munition or a bomb or something. But really, dispersion when it comes to civilian sector is, hey, if you spread far enough apart, they can't see two people in the same frame, so in the same field of view of the drone, unless they're using something like some kind of other sensor that I'm not sure we can probably talk about, like a Gorgon stare type thing. But the issue with this is that they're not dispersed, they're right next to each other. So that's why the first rule is to disperse into multiple small elements and displace often. That's just a key thing. Dispersion, dispersing yourselves, dispersing your people is very, very crucial. And this is where it comes to, once again, the civilian factor. People who aren't trained are going to have a hard time with this. If you're telling me that, hey, I'm getting shot at and I need to go, on my own 100 feet that way, people are going to have, a huge psychological effect. And that's where the civilian sector comes in. So, it's scary for troops to be in a foxhole 100 feet away from your buddy, your battle buddy, and, you start getting mortar rounds. That's pretty scary for people who aren't experienced to that. And it is terrifying for civilians, if it ever came to that. So the psychological impact of dispersion is something that has to be factored in as well, and you have to train around it, right? Also, another thing to consider is that we learned from the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict is that in modern war, vehicles are going to offer a false sense of comfort. I can't tell you how sobering it was to watch these armored vehicles just get hammered and just peeled apart like a tin can because some off-the-wall, cheap, less than 50-pound drone was overhead and putting a laser spot on it for precision-guided munition. That was terrifying to watch, and I'm sure it was terrifying for a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of some of those weapons before. So it's very sobering, is that we think that, hey, even the military gets the idea of, staying in a vehicle is cover. Not anymore, unless you can conceal that vehicle. A lot of modern munitions can punch right through a lot of that stuff. So, yeah, that's just something to consider. For civilians, yeah, get out of your vehicle, because there's no way a civilian vehicle can be camouflaged to the efficiency that a military vehicle can. So that's something to consider. Up next is this next one. This one is a pretty big one.